Welcome back to Cloudhill. Today we are talking C70 again, but this time along with the DJI RS2 or Ronin S2, Ronin. And specifically what we're talking about is balancing the C70 onto the Ronin. But first, roll that intro. So like I said, we're talking mounting this camera to this stabilizer. And there's a few things that we have found since having it and things that we've adapted that make it easier and better for us. So first we're going to talk about the actual mounting plates itself. It comes with two. This is the standard one. We're going to show you the other one a little bit later, which is for fitting the focus motors on as well. But they've done a really little handy thing. It gives you three little mounting points on here. You can see at the minute I've got it all the way over to one side. This is because the mounting plate on the bottom of the C70 comes with lots of mounting points on it. Canon, in their infinite wisdom, has placed 4 mounting points on this camera. 1 on the side so you can mount it in portrait mode if you want to, and 3 across the bottom, giving you 2 1/4 inch and 1 3/8. Now, you would have thought that would be great, but when you mount the plate onto the bottom, I was using all the way over to one side on the plate, and we realized that it didn't matter which 1/4 inch one you used. When it come to mounting it onto the camera, onto the stabilizer itself, that although you could get it in and over to the side, you couldn't get it all the way over to the motor, and it would only have about half of the plate in the lock itself. Now, although this does hold it still, I wasn't particularly happy with that. 1, I wanted to get it over that just that little bit more, and 2, I wanted a bit more of the plate in the lock. So we found an easy and simple solution. So, like we said about the mounting points on the bottom here, the center mounting point to the camera, right around down the center axis, is a 3/8 mount. Now this does have some little screws on it, and you probably could, with a bit of a search, go and find and buy from Canon a 3/8 version of this to go in there. But we found something else that was a lot quicker and cheaper than that. For a whole £2.50, you can buy 3/8 to 1/4 inch adapter screws from Wex Photo for a whole £2.50. Ah, it's gone. Now this simply screws straight into the bottom and switches your 3/8 mounting point over to 1/4 inch. Just like that. Now I can move my mounting screw back to the center on the mounting plate. Screw directly into the center of the C70. And now, when I slide this on, not only does it slide all the way over to the motor, giving me a nice firm over as far as it will go, but also nearly this completely central locking plate to the stabilizer as well. Now, next we're going to be talking power. Now the C70, as I'm sure you know, takes both the BPA30 batteries and the BPA60 batteries. Now obviously we know that the A60 and the A30, the power difference, one gives you obviously twice as much power because it is effectively twice the size, which also makes it roughly twice the weight as well. Now, will it work? Will it fit? Now, the simple answer is yes, it does. And it does clear the motors, both motors. So even if you've got it in briefcase mode, it will still clear the back motor. But Today, just to save of the hassle of that, we're going to be using the battery that it comes with in the box, being the A30. Boom, straight on. One of the other things to consider after batteries is lenses. Now, you might want to put something nice and small on here, like a 24mm or a nifty 50, but I know that this can handle it, and we've been using these sort of lenses on there since we've had it. We currently have a Samyang Cine 2, 35mm T 1.5 fitted on this manual focus lens, and we'll be going through fitting of the motor a little bit later on as well. But like I said, the stabilizer can handle it, but it is something to consider. If you're going to be carrying it around all day, you might want less weight on it. So if you're using the smaller batteries, smaller lenses, and that, again, it's keeping all the overall weight down on the stabilizer itself. Okay, so first you're going to mount the tilt. I do sometimes leave this one unlocked, but it's so handy having these new locks on here to be able to lock off the other motors, so we can go straight in for this one first. So as we can see, we are well out with our motor. So first we need to use this adjuster on the side here to try and centralize the camera to the motor itself. And as I can see at the minute, mine's looking a little bit high, so I'm going to unlock this. Again, don't worry about if you unlock it too far, if it's sliding off the bottom. There is a stop screw down here to stop that happening, which if you really need to take this arm off, you just push in and it will release, but it will stop the camera sliding down and all the way off. Now that looks a bit better. Another thing not to forget is, if you're going to be using this screen, don't forget to balance the camera with the screen out, because it will make a difference to the roll. Still looking a little bit heavy on the front of the bit. Now, the next thing that DJI did input onto the RS2 is this little micro adjusting wheel. Absolutely brilliant idea. This means I can just slide back the lock, not all the way, just a little bit. And this way I can just move this screw a little bit to add micro adjustments before locking it back off. Not quite there yet, I think it just needs to come down. It's still a little bit on the arm, it's still a little bit top heavy. As he says, now he has to go back up again. A little bit more. There we go. So that, not quite, come back a little bit on the adjuster. There we go. So you know you have the tilt in the right place. So as you move the camera, let it go, it stays still. That is your tilt balanced. Okay, next for the roll. Again, you can hit the unlock on the back. Already I know it's going to be swing down to one side. There we go. It's very heavy to the left. So what I like to do is take the lock off, and using my thumb, front hand on the camera, and able to use my thumb to gently slide over the camera. Now you will see that it comes real close to the end. Oh, too much. Not enough. There we have it. So there we have the camera balance central. Now, if I just lock them back off for a minute. Now, same here with the pan. Again, I try to keep the central body weight of the camera over the central column of the stabilizer. I think that looks good there. So those of you that aren't familiar with the app, or the new updated version of the app is the balance test is now on the home screen, which makes it really quick and simple to get into. It also gives you a straight up tutorial on exactly how to do it. You have to tilt the camera over to 15 degrees. What's great about the app is it actually tells you exactly what degrees you're at. And so as soon as you hit that 15, you can begin the test. It won't let you begin the test until you hit that 15 degrees. It will tell you have to move the camera over. And the other thing as well is if you come under 15 degrees during the test, it will stop the test and you have to restart it. So we are now at 17 degrees, so we will begin test. There we go, and once it's finished, it will give you the results. And for us, tilt, excellent, roll, excellent, pan, excellent, just what we wanted. Now, as we can see, the camera is completely happy on said stabilizer. Now, a couple of other little quick tips we're going to go through now about the RS2 that we have also found. One is they actually give you a secondary arm. Brilliant idea. This clips straight in here. But the only thing they didn't give you is a nice handle to operate the arm. What DJI want you to do is then take off the small tripod and screw it on here, which it now gives you a nice stabilizing arm. That's great and all, but now to put it back down again, if I want to put it down quickly, I've got to take it all the way off, screw it all the way back on, just to put it down. Thankfully, SmallRig do a purpose handle this is for the DJI Ronin S's. It's brilliant. It's not only is it covered with other 1/4" screw holes all the way down it, it also has 2 1/4" on the top and a 3/8 on the top. I currently have a small friction SmallRig tilt head on here for our screen. There's also a cold shoe mount here and a lovely little magnetized Allen key in here for you to be able to tighten up any of your screws. So this has a nice little nailed nut on it. It has a little cutaway portion that fits perfectly round this arm, screws straight down, Allen key through, nice and tight, and then pops, magnetized just straight back into its slot. Again, we're not sponsored by SmallRig for this, unless of course you want to, but I will drop a link in the description to both the friction tilt and to the gel handle, which is a great addition to the rig and means that you don't have to continually take off and put back on the bottom tripod. And now I'm just going to quickly show you the other mounting point. Just turn this off. The other mounting point for if you're using lens, because as you see, we've got a cine lens on here with a lens gear. This is a manual focus lens. So we did get the focus motor with the Pro Kit when we bought the RS2. So in order to use that, you have to mount this small arm onto the rig. Now this can be done in 2 ways depending on what cameras and what lenses you've got on it. The front of this plate has the mounting screws for it, or you get the second wider plate which has 2 mounting points on it. At the minute we found this one to be easier for us. So if I just pop this off for a second. Now this will adjust the weight slightly, obviously because it's adding a little bit more weight slightly forward. So you'll see as I bring this off, it is now starting to tilt. So I just need to bring that back a little bit. Too much. Too much again. There we go. And it will also adjust the roll as well. So just a little bit back over. There we have it. Fit the power cable in. Fire this bad boy back up. Now, one of the things you will need to do now is switch over the front focus wheel, which is default set to focus autofocus lenses, to the focus motor, which can be done in the menu. Okay, and so now that's fitted with the use of my finger on the front. That gives me full focus control of this lens. And there we have balanced C70 on the Ronin RS2. I hope you found that helpful. If you have any questions, please pop them in the comments. We'll do our best to answer them. We've got more videos coming on the RS2 and the C70. We're going to be running a comparison one with the Ronin S and the RS2 to show you some of the differences and some of the new modes, and another tricks and tips video similar to our first Ronin S video. Again, like I said, any questions, pop them in the comments. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos from us, and we shall see you in the next video.